nice and early. That's probably why you're tired.
Good morning, everyone. If you haven't already done so, please go into the check-in room behind lanes 1 and 2. I will begin announcements momentarily. We just want to make sure that everybody that's signed up for this squad is already checked in, or if not, please go there now to do so. Thank you. 4th Annual Parker Bohn III Scholarship Tournament. Before we get into this year's competition, I would like to take the opportunity to thank a few of the following people for making this year's event possible. First of all, Brunswick Corporation. Their continued support each and every year has helped our event grow and allowed all of us to come together. Bill Roback of Manchester Accounting. He's also been an integral part of everything that's going on. Chris Forty and Buddy's Pro Shop. Our next group on board, Chuck and Deborah Gardner from Bowl for Life. Just so that everybody knows, they will be donating a total of $2,500 in scholarships to this year's event. Absolutely. And so that everyone has the same fair chance, we are going to draw 2 lucky bowlers from each of the qualifying rounds. Each of those youth bowlers will receive $250 in scholarship. So we will do that somewhere right at the end or completion of practice session. And all the additional sponsors that you see on the masking units out in front, they've all graciously donated money or product to make our event grow and get bigger and better. Neil and Nicole Feingold, as well as Charles Anderson, the owners here at Howell Lanes, and their entire staff for helping and hosting this year's outstanding event. Once again, thank you. Matt Himmelrich and the PJVT staff, Danny Wiseman and Billy Gasson, for their help promoting the event throughout the events through the years. I can't thank them enough. And of course the volunteers for taking time out of their holiday weekend to spend time with us. Tom, Maria, Larry, Robin, Madison, Susan, just to mention a few. I would say that I put Leslie, Justin, Brandon, and Sydney in there too, but well, you know, they're a little different. Special guests, Chuck Gardner with Bowl for Life and the Youth Experience, the Brunswick Youth Experience. And of course, Phil Brylow from 10 on the Deck, who will be providing all of the live stream. Please check that out. You can see the cameras are set up. You can tell your friends and loved ones or family that they can check in and tune in and watch you bowl each and every game that you're going to be out here on the lane. So Phil, once again, thank you very much for providing all of that for us. And Justin for being he's truly our social media king. He handles everything, and this year he's actually upped his game. He's taken everyone's entry and made them possible, putting them all together. So Justin, thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. And last but not least, for everybody that's in this building, it all would not be possible if it wasn't for my wife, Leslie. I know I look good standing back here. Well, let's not push that one. I sound good sometimes back here on the microphone, but she has put this all together from start to finish. So if you look at everything that's going on, from banners to the fact that we're all standing here right now, entries, and everything that's going on behind the scenes, she has done 99.9% of all of that. So, dear, from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much for making this all possible. Anyone that is attending college this fall, or you're trying to look into getting your scholarship monies sent in the right direction, please make sure that before you leave sometime this weekend, make sure you see Leslie or email Leslie, and she can take care of making sure that those monies get to the proper place. Just a few rules I'd like to share with you. Juniors, you will be bowling 5 games of competition today. For this squad and every other squad, please follow your score sheet for your next pair. I believe this squad here, you will just be moving 1 pair to the right after each game. Bowlers, you are allowed 2 re-racks per game. If something's wrong or you need something fixed, correction-wise, or something's going on with the machine, please make sure that you find one of us tournament officials. We will be walking the floor and try to help make things run smoothly. Also, do not erase or clear your scores. The attendants will be writing those down for you to make sure that everything is going proper the way that we need it. 1 out of 4 bowlers from each division will advance to the finals with a maximum of 16 bowlers starting on Sunday morning at 9 o'clock. Anybody that's in the PBA Junior, the 12 division, I will talk to you separately because I have to figure out and make sure that everything's going to run on time and smooth on Sunday. So we will take care of that as the weekend progresses. One more special note. In conjunction with the PBA, they have made it possible that we will crown 5 PBA Junior this weekend. Each of the divisions will gain access to having a PBA junior title. But to do so, you also have to be a PBA junior member. So please make sure if you haven't done so at some point during your squad or right before things get underway, if you're interested in that, make sure that you sign up to become a PBA junior member. There's a lot of extras that go along with that. That's only benefit to all of us as bowlers. In the past, we've awarded over 23 years in excess of $225,000 in scholarship, and I see no reason why we're not going to bring that over $250,000 when we get done this weekend. Merchandise and raffles are available all day in rev rates, today and tomorrow. The drawings will be Saturday afternoon at 4:30. Please go in there. All those monies that are raised go back into the tournament for all of the kids. Certainly appreciate it. The Brands of Brunswick have donated a bunch of new bowling balls that we will raffle each squad. All the monies, once again, will be added to the scholarship money. Although Tom is not here right now, Tom will be here during the weekend, and he is going to sell those raffle items. I'm just not sure who's going to walk around for this squad, but we will take care of that. One more person I recognize, a past champ we had that's bowling on this squad, 2021, Brayden Cassidy. All right, hopefully we're going to add another name or two, if not more than that, on this squad as we speak. So for now, if everyone can stand, take off your hats, and we'd like to play the national anthem. Scoring unit, make sure that whatever letter you start with, you have that letter. It will follow you each and every game as you move to your next pair. The Bowl for Life winners that we had spoken about, everyone. We're going to bring Chuck up here, and he's going to graciously draw two names. Two numbers that correspond to a name. So you're going to make this tricky for everyone. Jay Schlechter is the winner of the $250 scholarship. Where's Chase?
Congratulations.
He's here. There he is.
You haven't even thrown a ball yet. You got $250.
Congratulations. Right. Let's get a picture. Let me get both of them.
Good morning, everybody out in bowling land. Thanks for watching us not only on the Justin Bohn YouTube channel, but also on the Parker Bohn III Scholarship Tournament YouTube page. I'm $2 Phil Brylow, bringing you through the entire weekend here. I want to thank the Bohn family for bringing me out and helping get the word out on this great tournament. 24th edition of this tournament. Shouldn't need any help getting the word out, but hey, everybody that gets to know about it, watch some of the great youth players out here on the East Coast battle for a bunch of scholarship money and try to make their way to the Sunday match play finals. 16 players in each division for the under 15 boys, under 15 girls, under 18 boys, and under 18 girls will make it to Sunday. Bracket for the under 12 mixed division yet to be determined by the number of entries we'll have in that division. It's always, you know, a little tough for the under 12 division when they're ready to make that big jump out of handicap tournament competition into scratch competition like we're seeing for these players today. We'll take you through the players on the squad. A couple of minutes of practice remaining, and we'll be underway with game one. Coming up next. And with the announcements from Parker Bohn III, we are underway.
Everybody on the console, hit the red key to start your game.
Wait for that final announcement to be made, and we'll give you a full rundown of your bowlers momentarily. So for those of you watching on the Justin Bohn page, if you're looking for a particular player that is bowling on this squad, you can do that. Those pages and streams are available on the Parker Bohn III Scholarship Tournament YouTube page, so just do a search for it, obviously. We'll get a link up in the description of your video momentarily. So you can just click on that. It'll open a second window, get you to that Parker Bohn III Tournament Scholarship page. Keep us on here because, of course, we'll get members of the Bohn family in a little later on this squad. A little later today, we'll also get some special guests as well. Pardon the little movement there. Making sure we got everything ready to rock and roll. It's the morning. It's Friday morning. It's the first squad of the tournament. And yep, even $2 Phil can turn into a $1.98 once in a while. When we get to getting ourselves underway here, we're going to do something a little different here. Let's get you on the high end of the house and move you down to the low end. So we're going to start here. The last squad in coverage this round's on lanes 21 and 22. And we'll give you a couple shots at everybody here in game one, and then we'll try to stick with our leaders and such as we're rolling through the rest of the round here on the Strike Central feed. Once again, if you're looking for a particular player, it's on the Parker Bohn III Scholarship Tournament YouTube page. Once they're on a particular pair of lanes, you can follow their movement. It's pretty easy this morning. They're just going to move a pair to the right, and this pair here with 21 and 22. They'll move down to 9 and 10 once it's done. So on 21 and 22, on your bowler A on 21 is Caitlin Lazarski, who's bowling in the 18 and under girls division. 21B, also in the 18 and under girls, Madison Lewis. 22C, Mackenzie Smolnick, also in the 18 under. And no D bowler on this particular pair of lanes, just 3 players rolling through early on. So we've got the link up for the Parker Bohn III Scholarship Tournament page on your description if you're watching us on the Justin Bohn page, if you want to watch pair to pair. There's a bowler D. Don't have the young person. Oh, here we go. Odin Peters bowling in the 12 and under mixed. Peters rounding things out here on 21 and 22. Peters with the missed conversion on the 2-8. This is a tournament pattern designed specifically for the PB3. I have those details for you momentarily. sure you overheard Parker right there talking to me about the pattern. And yeah, John Janowitz from Kegel. Kegel, great partners of this tournament for many years for Parker and the family. And this pattern this year, 44 feet in length, 28 mils in the pattern roughly. Your ratio is inside from outside. Run about, well, if you get really outside, it says it's 4-1, but it's pretty flat from 7th board out, so you're not going to see a lot of people playing out that far. It'll give a little recovery area to the players, not a ton. But right where the track where a lot of these people are going to be playing, sitting at about 2-1. So, and 44 feet in that volume. Shouldn't see a lot of surface on stuff. These kids, especially with their rev rates, and playing a little deep on the lane, should be in pretty solid shape. Let's give you your rundown here on your players on 17 through 20 here in game one. 17A, Braden Masclier. In the 18 and under boys division, your bowler A. Bowler B, Jason Bennett, also in the 18 and under boys. 18C, Jaden Canto, 18 and under boys. And 18D, Brian Sumier. Brian Sumler in the 18 and under boys. Over on 19 and 20. Your bowler A on 19 and 20. Is Braden Cassidy in the 18 and under boys. Bowler B, I have a Cindy Bohn, but I don't think that's correct. Bowler C, however, on 19 and 20 is Kaylee Germandig in the 18 and under girls, and 20D Amanda Morris also in the 18 and under girls. We'll give you a couple of frames from everybody as we keep rolling through here in our game one of 5 qualifying games for each block. 5 qualifying squads in total. 9 a.m., 1 p.m. today, and then 9 a.m., 1 p.m., and 5 p.m. tomorrow. Correction on the squad times. I brought up last year's flyer. This year's flyer. 9 a.m., 12:30 today for your qualifying squads. Tomorrow, 9 a.m., 12:30 p.m., and 4 p.m. The last squad used to be a re-entry squad for those that have not, those that are already bowled in the past and want another chance to get in. That's not the case this year. It's enter as often as you like, as long as there's room on the squad. And there is still extra room in that 4 o'clock squad tomorrow. And then our bracket finalists will advance to tonight, or pardon me, to Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern time. Your start time for the bracket finals in our divisions. And we'll crown those champions on Saturday. Tonight, 5 p.m., a little special event once again. The PB3 Eliminator. Always fun single ball shootout for the young players. And then a trios tournament. Mixed teams must have at least one female on your team, and it'll be a 6-game sweeper format. So we'll still have the live streaming on that for you. We'll just bounce around and have special guests to talk to, that type of thing. It'll be a lot of fun. And hey, let the family and friends tune in. Let your family and friends know you're watching this great event on YouTube. Let's take you next door. to lanes 13 through 16, pardon me, on 13 and 14. 13, your bowler A is Ryan Lang in the 18 and under boys. Xavier Newell, your bowler B, also in the 18 and under boys. Your bowler C on 13 and 14. Is Matthew Coppola. And just 3 bowlers on that pair of lanes over on 15 and 16. 15, your bowler A is Joseph Dominguez in the 18 and under boys. 15B, Chase Lechner, also 15 and under boys. Your bowler C, Jacob Quinones, 18 and under boys. And bowler D, Brighton Boyce, 18 and under boys. And let's take you over to our last pairs in play here. Lanes 9 through 12. Your bowler A on lane 9, Rocco Marinich in the 15 under boys. Bowler B, Lucas Files. I mean, Ryan Lang is your bowler B. Bowler A, is Joe Lamoureux. I've had some switching around here, so apologize. Last second switching around. Bowler B, Rocco Marinich. Bowler A, Lamoureux. Bowler C, Lucas Files. Bowler D, Christian Danza. Over on 13 and 14, you got Josh Lamoureux is your bowler B on 13 and 14. Ryan Lang, your bowler A. Matthew Coppola, your bowler C. James Oriama, your bowler D. As we get near the end of game one. So wrapping up game one, you know what that means. We're going in numerical order. So that means game two coming up next. Player movement. All the players are moving a pair to the right. So if you're watching us on the pair-by-pair feeds at the Parker Bohn III Scholarship Tournament YouTube page, just find the feed for a pair to the right of what your players are bowling now. Some of you will have to change. Some of you can stay the same. And the bowlers are on 21 and 22 are going to go down to 9 and 10. Thanks for joining us this morning here from Howell Lanes in New Jersey, as this is the first of 5 qualifying squads for the 24th annual Parker Bohn III Scholarship Tournament. I'm $2 for Brylow, taking you through the weekend here in beautiful New Jersey. right, we're underway with game 2. We'll get Chuck Gardner in here, game 3. Talk a little bit. That's a nickname that hasn't been used in a couple of years. I still initially got to know him as Chuck on the Truck with his years for working on the PBA and PWBA tours with Brunswick Bowling. Now, he's got his own little passion project going in conjunction with Brunswick, with the Brunswick Youth Experience. And there's going to be a nice presentation here by Chuck and some other Brunswick staffers for the young players prior to the Eliminator and Trios sweeper tonight. I mean, what a fountain of knowledge to get information about this game from, with Chuck Gardner, Parker Bohn III, and whatever other guests are going to be in with Chuck this evening. So once again, if you're looking for your favorite player, we kind of whip around here. We kind of stick with leaders and such here in the Strike Central feed, but click on that link in the description of the YouTube feed that you're watching on the Justin Bohn page, and that'll take you to the PB3 scholarship page where we have all the individual pair feeds going out. We'll get you updated Game 1 results as soon as they come out of the tournament office. Lots of great volunteers helping out this weekend. Get to toot my own horn, myself being one of them. Donating my time and all my equipment this weekend to the Bohn family. I want to thank the sponsors for helping cover the gas money and my lodging while we're out here, including great sponsors like Rita's Italian Ice. Oh, Rita's good stuff. Can't wait for that to come back in the door today. I've been looking forward to that for a year, to be honest. Manchester Accounting Services, the Storm Youth Championships, Buddy's Pro Shop, I Am Bowling, of course, Brunswick, and the Bowl for Life Scholarship Foundation, Tom Russo Photography, and, of course, Rev Rates and Bones Elite Training here inside of Howell Lanes. And this is also a PBA Junior regional event. So if a young player is a PBA Junior member prior to bowling in this tournament, and they win one of the 5 respective titles that are out here this weekend, they also get credit for a PBA Junior regional tournament victory. So that's pretty awesome as well. And that's such a great program. Passion Project and Mike Sleds and Tom Clark and many at the PBA home offices in Manhattan and in Virginia. Just had our PBA Junior National Qualifiers Bowl a couple of weekends ago across the country. We'll talk about that a little later this afternoon, and this is just one of the great affiliate events that the PBA Junior program has, as there's a season-long points list for affiliate programs that PBA Junior members can bowl, and they can also win some additional scholarship money through that season-long points list. What a great memorial for Jim Welch. Jim, great volunteer for the sport, involved in the sport for many years, passed away a few years back. And there's a lot of scholarship money available in that Jim Welch Memorial Scholarship Fund for PBA Junior members that bowl in those affiliate tournaments from across the country. If you're not already a member of PBA Junior and you're a youth player, what are you waiting for? Not only do you get the great benefits of bowling PBA Junior events across the U.S., but you also get some great benefits as well. You get discounted entry fees from competing in PBA Junior regional tournaments, your official PBA Junior bag tag, exclusive PBA Junior merchandise, including an official PBA bowling towel, water bottle, and hat. Early access to PBA Tour events. So if you want to see the PBA Tour when it's by you, you can do that and get a discount on those tickets. Also, other discounts can be had as well from bowlerx.com and other sponsors, especially once you get into the premium membership. There's a basic and a premium membership. Go to pba.com, and across the menu on the top of the page, you scroll over to the Join Now tab, and it'll bring a drop-down menu out. Click on PBA Junior, and you can get that information on how to join PBA Junior. Once again, we're going to bounce around a little bit once we know who some of our leaders on as we get a little later in the squad. We'll get a little more focused coverage on those young players. And these qualifying rounds will go quite fast, as a lot of these players using, we see it a lot, and I like it in youth events, just a single lane courtesy. Sometimes the players, especially if they've been in PBA Junior, they know the double jump rule and they'll kind of focus on that a little bit, but that's still pretty quick when everyone knows what they're doing with the double jump rule. Yeah, that's an interesting conversion attempt there on the 2-6, 7-10. Only the 2 comes out for that young player. So once again, your qualifying times today, and we'll get all the streams out on YouTube for you. Once again, if you're watching us on the Justin Bohn YouTube page, thanks for watching, first of all. And second of all, if you're looking for a particular player on the stream, go down in the description under the video, and you'll see the link there for the Parker Bohn scholarship page. Just right-click on that, go to Open New Tab, because that way you keep us on here in the Strike Central feed on the Justin Bohn page. And then it'll take you to that landing page for the Parker Bohn III Scholarship Tournament. And you'll see all the pair feeds available there as well. And that's where you're going to see all the feeds all weekend long as we roll you through to a championship coming up Sunday afternoon in 5 divisions. There's an under 12 mixed for the under 15 division where we have boys and girls, and for the under 18 division, boys and girls in their own divisions. And we'll get an idea of the final scholarship prizes to be paid in each division once we get done, because there is an immense amount of raffles and such going on this weekend. Silent auctions as well. Some pretty cool merchandise in the silent auctions. I saw some autographed bowling balls from players like E.J. Tackett, Bill O'Neill, and of course Parker Bohn III. Autographed Tom Hess jersey I saw as well. An autographed book from Anna Monticelli, his great book that came out a little earlier this year, especially about the mental side of bowling. And lots of other raffles go, and 100% of the proceeds from those raffle items will go right into the PB3 Scholarship Fund. Let's take a look here in the chat on YouTube. Sorry, it takes me a few minutes to bounce around here. I apologize for not taking a look. PBA Tommy, we're at Howell Lanes in Howell, New Jersey for this great event. I'll be sure to add that into the description of the video for the rest of the rounds. Frank Serganese, nah, you won't bowl minus 157. It's 5 games. You'll be fine. You can't come in here with a negative attitude. You can't come in here thinking you're going to bowl bad, because then you're going to bowl bad. You got to come in positive. Do what you can when you get in the door. Study that pattern. Make sure you pay attention and practice that ball reaction. And always make your spares. That's always huge. So many times, spares don't get made. And that always seems to be the difference between making your way into the next round and not going anywhere except home after a tournament. So, Frank, when you get here, think positive. Everything will be good for you. Trying to see if we got any players on big runs here, but nothing so far. 3 baggers at a premium so far this morning. So once again, thanks for joining us here from Howell Lanes in Howell, New Jersey, as the Parker Bohn III Scholarship Tournament, the 24th edition of this great event, rolls on. And the players will once again be moving a pair to the right, and we'll get Chuck Gardner in here shortly to talk a little bit about his great involvement with the Brunswick Youth Experience and the Bowl for Life Scholarship Foundation. So tell your family, tell your friends. And we'll be back with our 3rd game of this 5-game qualifying block from Howell Lanes after player movement. always look forward to seeing this guy. Whenever I get a chance. It's been a few months. Last time I saw you was back in World Series of Bowling time.
Yes, sir. We had a blast.
We had a blast.
That event you did there was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm hoping, well, if the World Series is back again next year, I'll definitely run that for the kids in the southeast Wisconsin, northern. We had kids coming in from Minnesota for that event. I mean, it's amazing what these Brunswick Youth Experience events that you are a part of, kind of like, you hop on board and help out. It's already existing events for the youth experience, but you come in to an event here like the PB3, and you make it that little bit better for the kids because they get to pick your brains, and all the pros that you bring with you pick their brains and learning experience. I remember those kids that bowled the team tournament that we had with Packy Hanrahan, and these kids just loved bowling with Packy in the finals. And then one of the young men, Trey Heinrichsmeyer, ended up winning that tournament, and now he's bowling on TV in Portland, Maine in a couple of weeks. Yeah. So it's gonna. Is he asking you to come up and ball rep for him, Chuck?
No, but we had a good time when he was there bowling. Now, he won that LBC thing, right?
He had the last 22 in a row to take the lead, and it held on for the last few weeks of the tournament.
That's cool.
So, yeah, 17 years old. It just goes to show the future of the sport. People always say, oh, the sport's dying. There's so many kids like these young players out here that have such a passion for the sport that, sure, the numbers might be a little bit smaller than they were 10 years ago, but it's starting to get that upswing again. And you're starting to see events like this where you're seeing more entries coming in to the event, building year after year, than seeing it where it was kind of decreasing, going down. I mean, I had no problem selling out that team tournament. It's great to see the involvement for the kids, and we're starting to see the younger players get into it as well. I saw some kid. I do the Spare Time show. We had you on earlier this year, and Sparky, the host, his son is 7 years old, and his son's already getting lessons because he wants to get better. And he's out there, and he's helping his buddies while they're bowling too. He's like, we don't need bumpers anymore. They're 7. We don't need bumpers anymore. We're going to get better. We're not going to get better without the bumpers. It's so cool.
Yeah, I love it, man. I think it's when we first started the Brunswick Youth Experience, the goal, we were going to go to 12 events a year. And, last year we were at almost 40 events. This year we've already been at 28 or 29 events. So we're just having fun. I really enjoy getting to interact with the kids and the parents, and if they want to know things, love sharing knowledge with them. And if they just want to take pictures and hang out, I'm perfectly fine with that. It's just fun.
Yeah. What sprouted the Brunswick Youth Experience idea for you? What was the aha moment, like, this is going to be something I really want to do with the remainder of my career? Because you had 20-plus years on tour, and how you did that and kept your sanity pretty much is beyond me, with having to play, Crying Shoulder and Information Guru and everything, all those players. What was the aha moment where all of a sudden this is something I really want to do with the rest of my time with Brunswick?
Well, in all honesty, I was going to retire, and I just felt like I'd put in my time on the tour, and I wasn't enjoying it like I once did. And people ask me all the time, like, how could you be on the road 250 nights a year and dealing with all the things that you dealt with? Yeah. And I said, because I really enjoyed it. I really, really enjoyed it. But the last couple years was a little tougher. With the tour being less events, less opportunities for the players, the anxiety and the pressure that the players are under is enormous, and it just became less fun. And so I went and sat down with the powers to be at Brunswick, Corey Dykstra and Brian Graham and Bugsy Kelly, and we talked about who were going to get to replace me, and they really didn't want me to leave the company, and I really literally didn't want to leave the company, but so we just got our brains together and thought of some ideas, and they know that I'm a big, huge proponent of youth bowling. Yep. I have my foundation that I think is super important to give back to the sport. And they said, what if we did something that you could tie into your foundation, and we could do something with youth bowling? We sponsor tons and tons of youth tournaments around the country. And So we just started knocking around ideas and ways that we could make events that are already existing more fun for the kids, maybe more interesting. And so that's how it kind of started. It was just a brainstorming idea. I was up in Muskegon. I was there for 3 or 4 days, and we talked every day about ideas. And then, they said, put a plan together. Let's figure out. And, it's a huge investment on Brunswick's part.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, Brunswick, they're a smart company that cares about bowling and cares about their bowlers, just like Storm and the other companies in our unbelievable sport. We know, and we knew that we weren't going to try and run tournaments like SYC.
Yeah.
Storm does a great job with the SYC events, but I think running the tournaments is handled.
Yeah.
Like the people that run tournaments do a great job.
Absolutely.
And so what have we done as an industry all these years when we sponsor tournaments? Well, we give them a ball to raffle off and maybe a banner that says sponsored by Brunswick.
Right.
Like, that's all we've ever done.
Yeah.
And so this is just different. This is better. In my opinion, it's better. Kids come in. As a matter of fact, Mr. Russo just came up to me. Matt's dad just came a minute ago and goes, "Man, kids are in there grabbing all the Bowl for Life stuff and taking it and putting it on." I said, "That's what it's here for."
Yeah.
That's what it's here for.
Spread the word.
We want these kids to get the goodies off the table, to get the autograph cards, and learn about youth bowling.
Yeah. And the one thing that's pretty cool, and I saw it at the tournament I had in Wisconsin back in April, and I know we'll probably see it later on because you're going to do a presentation before the Trios tournament tonight in Rev Rates, is the question and answer sessions. And the best questions are from the parents.
Absolutely.
It's the fun part where the kids might get a little shy once in a while. Parents aren't shy about asking you guys the questions about, planning for the future and the college stuff and college bowling and everything going on. Because it's not an easy road to navigate. I know there's Recruit Us is a good tool that Billy Gasson, who's done a lot of work with Parker in past years as well, is doing. And but to navigate the college wires, it's not easy. And to have somebody like you that's seen it for how many years? I mean, 20 years college bowling's been really taking off. You've been around it the whole time.
Yes, sir.
And you've seen it, and it's pretty neat to see the parents pick your brain.
I've been to every junior gold that's ever happened, so I think that's cool. I've got to see it from its infancy when it was, such a small group.
Right.
It was super prestigious then to even get in the event.
Yeah.
It's still prestigious though, right?
Right.
Like it's still a hugely important event in our sport, and just youth bowling. Like none of this existed when we were kids.
No.
This didn't exist.
No.
Like if we wanted to bowl a youth tournament, there was Youth City and, there was Youth State.
Yeah.
And that was about what you had.
Yeah, I was lucky in Wisconsin back in the day in the 80s that there actually was a little youth tour in southeastern Wisconsin that did events like every 2 months. So you got 5 events. And that was huge back then. 5 events in the season?
Yeah.
That was absolutely huge. And we were bowling for trophies. The concept of scholarship money hadn't come across yet, so you're bowling for trophies. So you're walking out of there with a trophy. They couldn't give you anything extra. So they made sure the trophies are real nice. I walked out of a tournament one time with a trophy that was about 4 feet tall.
That's cool. Well, I forgot you're a lot younger than I am. So.
Not by much.
So in the 60s and 70s, there was not a lot.
No.
But Wisconsin was way ahead of the rest of the country. Those great bowling markets that were great bowling markets in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, and still are great bowling markets. They did things way faster than the rest of the country did. So they had a lot of great people that supported the sport.
And you mentioned earlier about Brunswick not running the tournaments. There's really no need to, because back when I had the TV shows in Wisconsin, started in 2007, there was one other youth tour that kids could go out and bowl. I had the Hammer Youth Challenge back then, and then Brunswick came on board for some stuff for a few years as well. And I got to the point where it was kind of like the perfect transition time for me once I started working for Extra Frame, because all of a sudden I had gone from 1 youth tour to 2 youth tours to 3 youth tours to 4 youth tours outside of what I was running. So it's like I didn't feel bad not running my stuff anymore because these kids had so many other things to bowl. And even some tournaments like the Sean Yona Memorial up in Sheboygan, Wisconsin, that Parker made appearances at and that type of thing, where it just got to be, Keith's getting a little older, and he goes, there's so many other things for the kids to bowl. I don't feel bad about not having this anymore. Because in Wisconsin, you've got the Wisconsin Youth Bowlers Tour. You've got the Junior Bowler Scholarship Tour. You got the American Youth Bowlers Tour. Even though it's just cross-border Illinois, Deandra Asbeatty with her elite
tour.
That's 5 different tours. There's something every weekend these kids can bowl if they wanted to. It's amazing. And then if Storm Youth Championships comes to the area, they were up in Green Bay, Wisconsin a couple weekends ago.
They were.
And yeah, it's just it's phenomenal how much is done. And for you to jump on it and help make these tournaments and brand them a little bit better with, like you said, the little things that the kids get when they walk away, and they get the feel-good stuff.
Yeah.
And they get to talk to you, and the parents get to talk to you, and whatever pros may be here. I mean, obviously, with this being Parker's tournament, they get to talk to Parker. Are there any other professionals coming in today?
No, Bill was going to come, but he had something come up. And Matt Russo's busy wedding planning.
Yep.
And so, Parker just said, you know what, we'll just handle it. And actually, Justin is going to help me with the presentation today, so I'm excited about that.
Yeah, and especially because you talk about a couple of young players that are in the heart of youth bowling, Justin and Brandon Bohn, both of them. Justin returning to school after a year off, getting rev rates going here and helping the family out with that, and now Brandon transferring schools and staying in college bowling as well. It's a pretty exciting time for the Bohn family, no doubt about it.
Oh yeah, it's an exciting time for our sport. I just think. With all these tours that are going on and all these events to go to, I just think we can't do too much. And I encourage people, if you're listening to this podcast or what live stream right now, if you're listening to this and you're going to be close to if you're close to the area here, come over this afternoon around 4-ish and sit in on our presentation. We're gonna do our best to share some ideas. We're going to talk a little bit about junior gold preparation, even though it was just over. It was one of the things Parker really wanted to talk about this year in the presentation.
Okay.
About, we got plenty of time to prepare for next year. What are we going to do? How are we going to get better? So it's a really fun presentation that Parker and I put together. I think the kids and the parents will get a lot out of it. So I encourage people to come and spend some time. It'll be right here in Rev Rates, and it'll be up on the screen, and we'll have a great time.
Watching these young players finish their third of 5 qualifying games, and it's not the easiest. Did you get a peek at the lane pattern?
I did.
The 44 foot and 28 mils. Especially when you're dealing with youth players, because you've got the under 12s that are still maturing into their physical game. And then you got obviously U18 boys, who some of them you're going to see out here, especially the two-handers with the Belmo-like rev rates and ball speed. It's a pattern that they take into consideration all styles of play and make it play. How tough is it for somebody like John Janowitz at Kegel, who designed this pattern with Parker? How tough is it for John to do something like that? I mean, he's got years of experience, but you still. It's more of an art than the science, isn't it, with lane pattern design?
100%. And that's and I think what makes great patterns is the diversity in which you can get to the pocket.
Okay.
I think when you build a really, really good pattern, and JJ is an unbelievable pattern design guy. So if you build a pattern where multiple angles and multiple types of games can hit the pocket, then it's about thinking through, how can I get the 10 out, or how can I get the 7 out, or how can I get a triple? Because getting triples on these kind of patterns is not always easy.
Right.
So you want to focus on filling frames, but if you allow multiple angles and multiple types of games get to the pocket, then the bowler gets a chance to show their greatness. So I'm getting better because I'm going to figure out how to get 10 down and fill frames.
Okay.
I think that's what makes pattern designing such a cool art. And you're right, it's absolutely 100% an art.
Yeah.
People can talk about the science of lane patterns, they can talk about the science of bowling balls, but the art of making them work is like, does Jason Belmonte or Walter Ray Williams or Pete Weber, do they literally throw it better than everybody else, or do they navigate the game better than everybody else?
Yeah, it's a very valid point right there, because watching Belmo make moves sometimes, is just you look at it and you go, why didn't he make that move? And all of a sudden, there's a 5-bagger. And you just want to pick his brain. Or Walter Ray goes from one-handed to two-handed to make adjustments around the lane. And all of a sudden, you watch him shoot a two-handed 300.
Yeah.
And he did that in Minnesota in 2019 when we covered an event for Flow Bowling. I'm watching him two-handed again. And I'm like going, I can't believe he made that move this early. And he knew it. And the second game after he did that, 300. Just phenomenal to be 63 now, Walter Ray?
He's 63. He'll
63.
be 64. He'll be 64. Well, he might be 64 now.
Yeah.
I think his birthday's in August.
Okay.
So I think he just turned
just
64. Because I'll be 64 on Monday.
Okay.
So
well,
he's
happy early birthday.
We're very close. It's just I can't remember his birth date,
days.
but it's a few days. Yeah.
Yeah. But just to watch the wheels spin when these players are figuring out what's on the pattern. And as you said, there's not a lot of big physical game differences for players on the PBA Tour nowadays. All of a sudden you watch an Anthony Simonson decide, I'm going to use plastic the last game at the World Series of Bowling to make the cut in the scorpion pattern. And you watch Jason Belmonte decide, you know what, I'm just going to flatten my hand a little bit more and just move 2 boards all day and make the World Championship show going from 12th to 5th in 12 games of match play.
Yeah.
It's incredible to watch, and it's just like it's like you just want to read their brain when they're doing it and see what, because that's a lot of the difference. The physical games are pretty similar for a lot of guys out there. Their shot repetition ability pretty close, but when that lane transitions, and how many boards do they move now compared to when you first started repping on tour?
Oh my God, it's gigantic now. I mean, like we move zones like it's our job now. But you know, it's believe it or not, people think, well, that's the game's changed that much. No, it's really always been that way, right? Yeah. You know, we can think back of guys that are unbelievable physical talents that never won or only won once or twice in PBA history.
Right.
I mean, think of Richie Wolf, who physically threw the ball better than Richie Wolf.
Yeah.
And he roomed, and not to bash anybody or anybody's game, but he roomed with Eric Forkel, who won, I don't know, 5 times on tour.
Yeah.
And when you look at their physical games, you go, well,
what?
This guy won the most by far, right?
Right.
Again, not that Eric Forkel's physical game isn't great, but compared to Richie Wolf, but Richie never won.
Yeah. Scott Devers is one name that always comes to mind from the 80s and early 90s. You watch Scott's form and you go, huh?
5 titles, right?
He had 5 titles. And just you went, huh?
Ron Williams from Cahokia.
Right.
Cahokia Ron.
Yeah.
So, like, you look at those games and you go, but then you take these guys that are, remember Joe Firpo?
Yes.
Oh, one of the most pure physical games ever. Never won a singles title.
Yeah.
He won a doubles with Del Warren.
Yep.
Never won a singles title.
Yeah.
That guy threw it so and by the way, still does.
Yes.
Throws it unbelievable.
Yes. Saw him, he bowled in Shawnee on the PBA Tour earlier this year. He took advantage of that winner's exemption 35 years after he won his doubles title, and he got to bypass the PTQ.
There you go.
I mean, it's one of those quirks in the rules. It doesn't say how long ago you had to win your last title.
We actually used to bowl USBCs together. The last time we bowled together, myself, Joe, Ron Dixon, Tony Yarborough.
Okay.
Pretty good team.
Yeah.
We finished second in USBCs. We led until like 3 days to go.
Okay.
And Brian, Oregon. Brian.
Alpert? Not
No.
Alpert. Smith. Brian Smith.
Brian Smith. Brian Smith's team beat us. We ended up finishing second.
Yeah.
But we did get some nice watches.
There you go. Yeah, and not a bad check either. But
No,
everybody
the check
always,
was okay.
Everybody always wants the Eagle. Well, hey, thanks for sending me for a game. I'm going to bring you back on the 12:30 squad. We'll talk a little bit more about Bowl for Life then, give the fans a little something to come back and watch and listen to. We'll have Chuck on in Game 3 again on the 12:30 squad. Appreciate it, Chuck. Game 4 coming up next.
You got it.
All right, we're going to give you a little ambient audio here. Start off game 4. I'm $2 Phil Brylow bringing you through not just this 9 a.m. squad of the Parker Bohn III Scholarship Tournament, this 24th annual edition, but we're going to bring you through the whole weekend. Next squad starts today, 12:30 p.m. Your qualifying squads tomorrow, 9 a.m., 12:30 p.m., and 4 p.m. And that will get us into our championship brackets on Sunday. Those will begin at 9 a.m. Eastern time, of course, because we're here inside of Howell Lanes in Howell, New Jersey. I want to thank Chuck and Neil, the owners here, along with their entire staff, for hosting this event once again. And if you ever get a chance to stop here at Howell Lanes, please do so. I mean, it's a bit of history here, especially when you have names like Parker Bohn III and Johnny Petraglia as bowlers that have been here for years. And there's a really neat mural in the bar with Johnny and Parker and John Fury, who's not just the pro shop owner here inside of Howell Lanes, but also a great PBA player in his own right when he's able to get out on tour and get away from the shop for a few days. Remember watching John battle Dick Allen up in Portland, Maine for the title of the main event back in 2018. John that close to his first PBA Tour title, and still in his young career. Wouldn't surprise me if he got out to the World Series of Bowling or another national event near here in New Jersey that John could be contending for the title. Reminds me of the great part-time players. I mean, John Van Hees was one back in the day as well. John, a lot of pro shop stuff. And Van Hees took down a PBA title in Reno during the World Series of Bowling in 2015. Darrell Bauer was another player. You know, had the center in Pennsylvania, took care during the year, went out and bowled the summer tour, and Bauer made several TV telecasts. So never count out the part-time guys when they're out on the PBA Tour or at a PBA regional event, because just because they're part-time doesn't mean they're not full-time good. We'll get some standings updated for you and bring you our leaders on the squad momentarily once we get that updated with Game 3. Scoring pace is a little tough right now. After 2 games in the boys 18 and under division, there was only 1 player to the plus, with Braden Massley. And on the girls' side of things, Madison Lewis was leading after 2 games with a total of minus 21. Oh, I got to buy my ball raffle tickets. I'll be right back. Last call ball raffle. All right. So we'll bounce you around here a little bit. Thanks for watching on the Justin Bohn YouTube page if you're watching us on the Strike Central feed there. And if you're looking for your favorite player, going pair to pair, just click on that link in the description under your video where you see it for the Parker Bohn III Scholarship Tournament YouTube page. Right-click on that, get your open new tab so you keep us on here in Strike Central, and then you'll see the 5 streams, 4 of those being pair by pair, the other one being obviously the Strike Central. We have it running on both pages because we want people to be able to watch wherever they're located. And we appreciate everybody taking time out of their day and following their favorite players here at the Parker Bohn III Scholarship Tournament. So once again, your next squad today, 12:30. That'll be the last regular qualifying squad for Friday. Tonight's action going to be a lot of fun at 5 p.m. Eastern time, as we'll have 26 lanes full of trios teams, mixed trios teams. It has to be at least one female on the team. And it is an event that will use handicap based off of a 630 team average, 80% of that. So it's a lot of fun because then some of the families that are here that may have a younger player that wants to bowl with their brother or sister but just doesn't have their talent level up to scratch division talent yet, they can still bowl and have fun with it. And then they can have fun with the Eliminator part too, because all you have to do with the Eliminator that's going to kick off that trios event is not have the low count. So it'll start, everybody will throw one ball, and whoever has the lowest count and ties, so let's say somebody goes through the nose and leaves a Greek church, 5 count. If they're the low count or other people get 5 counts with them, they're out that round and they're done until they start bowling the trios event. And there's scholarship money on the line for that Eliminator. Goes to show how well bowlers can do on one shot under pressure. And it doesn't matter, boy or girl. You throw one ball and keep advancing as long as you don't have the lowest count. And that's fun. It's that clash format you're going to see on October 1st from Portland, Maine, with the PBA League Bowler Certification National Championships clash. You've got 3 PBA professionals with Jake Peters, Tom Doherty, and A.J. Johnson, who all qualified coming out of the final day of the LBC National Championships, when the top 50 PBA players had their own squad. And they're going to be battling 9 players who advanced out of the tournament proper, including some big names like PBA Hall of Famer Lenny Boris Jr., who advanced out of the senior division. Liz Johnson, Verity Crowley, Danielle McEwen, 3 great PWBA players who advanced out of the women's classic division of the LBC National Championships. Carlton Chambers, SIBO, along with Derek Kindig and Trey Heinrichsmeyer, the 17-year-old out of Eau Claire, Wisconsin, who all advanced out of the Open Classic division. And 2 additional players, one out of the men's handicap and women's handicap divisions, the top finishers there. Those players all won at least $5,000. Hey, Trey Heinrichsmeyer in the Open Classic division took down $25,000. Actually, I shouldn't say all players, because Verity Crowley and Danielle McEwen, second and third, they didn't get the $5,000 that Liz got, but still a nice payday for those 2 players. And they're going to earn at least a couple $1,000s going to Portland, Maine for that clash. And the winner of the clash, $60,000 to the winner. So can you imagine that? If Trey Heinrichsmeyer, 17-year-old, already won $25,000 in scholarship money from that LBC National Championships. If he pads that with another $60,000 in scholarship money, my goodness. Talk about being set for at least a year of college. The way college prices are nowadays. But yeah, looking forward to that. And, of course, looking forward to that PBA League competition from Portland, Maine, starting on September 23rd. And all those shows running on FS1. 4 straight nights of shows, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday for the PBA League. Going to be a good time at Bayside, no doubt about that. And the Portland Lumberjacks going for the 4-peat, 3-time reigning champs. Got to talk to Kyle Troop this past week on the Spare Time Bowling Show podcast. Check it out on the Odyssey app. or check it out wherever you get your podcasts. Spare Time Bowling Show is your podcast. Like I said, we talked to Chuck earlier this year. We talked to some of the hottest names in the PBA Tour, and it was really cool talking to Kyle, not just about the possible four-peat at the PBA League for the Lumberjacks, but about a great trip that Kyle is part of, a jackpot bowling cruise. Yes, you've heard it here. Bowling on a cruise ship. It's leaving December 31st from Florida. It's a 7-day cruise. Kyle Troop, Verity Crowley, Amleto Monticelli, part of that. There's room. There's only room for a couple more doubles teams. You enter as a doubles team, and if you bowl well enough on the final day of the cruise, you will bowl trios. You want to talk to me, little buddy? Oh, no, he's the carpet pattern got him. I had a little guy just walk into the booth right now. Sorry about that. I was ready to throw a headset on him. But, yeah, you can bowl with Verity, Amleto, or Kyle the last day and win some pretty big prize money. If you go to Facebook, look for Jackpot Bowling Cruise. You can get the details on that. I know Kyle from talking this week said there's a 2-for-1 airfare deal and a discount on the cruise, but you have to enter by Sunday. So if you're looking for something to do on New Year's, like the bowl, like Kyle Troop and the rest of them, with Verity and Amleto, and want your chance to win some prize money at sea and have some great stops on that cruise as well, check out Jackpot Bowling Cruise. Check it out on Facebook. So we're wrapping up our 4th qualifying game, just a single game remaining on this opening squad of the 24th annual PB3 Scholarship Tournament. We'll have player movement and our final qualifying game coming up next from Howell Lanes in Howell, New Jersey. All right, this is the last chance for some of these players to make their way into Sunday's match play competition. Well, it might not necessarily be the last chance. It all depends if they want to shell out another $75. And try to re-enter. We've seen some young players in the past. Mom and dad shell out another entry fee and they make their way into the top 16. Or make their way into a cash spot if they don't make the top 16. There'll be several cashers outside that top 16, for sure in the under 18 boys and girls. Possibly in the under 18 boys as well. Under 15 girls is usually right around the cut number to the 16 for Sunday. And we'll see how many young players will advance in the under 12 mixed division once we're done. So next squad, 12:30 p.m. Eastern, your start time. We'll have all the pair-by-pair feeds coming to you on the Parker Bohn III Scholarship Tournament YouTube page. And we'll have this Strike Central feed. We'll talk to Chuck Garner again on the 12:30 squad. See if we can get a couple other notables in during the day as well on that 12:30 squad. Definitely get members of the Bohn family in here tomorrow for sure. And plans are to have Justin and Brandon Bohn calling the finals with whoever special guests they may have. Calling that on Sunday once we get those started in the afternoon. So Sunday we'll have all the pair feeds for the match play, so you'll be able to watch your favorite players go through their matches, as they will be 2-game total pin matches to see who advances. It is a double elimination bracket. And then once we get to the finals on Sunday, we'll take that over to the Rev Rates side of Howell Lanes. And the top two in each of our 5 divisions will bowl their championship matches there. Neat that they get that intimate setup to bowl for a title. Will definitely be a memory that'll be tough to forget for anybody involved in those championship matches. This is sometimes the most nervous moment for a parent during qualifying portions of a tournament. That's right. It's the ball raffle. Am I going to save a couple $100 not having to buy my kid another ball by winning the raffle? You see everybody staring at their tickets intently. They want to win. They want to get that new bowling ball from Brunswick or Hammer or Track or Ebonite with those brands of Brunswick. Deviate as well. Can't forget about Deviate. Columbia. There's a ball demo going on inside of Rev Rates that these players can take advantage of before or after their qualifying squads this weekend. There are a lot of bowling balls inside of Rev Rates right now. And seen some adults take to the lanes over in Rev Rates. And John Fury and his pro shop here, more than happy to drill up. For anybody that wants to buy a new ball, getting ready for the fall season. Hey, we got a front four. Let's get over to lanes 11 and 12. We have Braden Massley stepping up. Braden, the leader after the first 3 games of qualifying. Don't think we have a Game 4 update yet. No, we do not. But he was our leader at -8. 165, 241, 186 for Massley for his first 3. And he's looking to secure a spot into Sunday. And the booth curse comes into effect early here at Hall Lanes. First time we've spotlighted a bowler intentionally. Of course, he had no idea that we were going to get him on camera for the world to see at the moment. Leaves a 2-8-10. He's just going to try to fire it, get 2. Gets none. Hopefully that count doesn't haunt him later on in the event. Once again, with this tough 44-foot PB3 tournament pattern, 28 mils in the pattern, designed by John Janowitz and Kegel, one of the sponsors of this event. Of course, going along with Rita's Ice Cream. Oh, and Italian Ice. Cannot wait for that Italian Ice later. Manchester Accounting Services Storm Youth Championships. Buddy's Pro Shop. I Am Bowling. Tom Russo Photography. Bowl for Life. The Brands of Brunswick, Bones Elite Training, Rev Rates, and the PBA and the PBA Junior Program. Once again, winners in these 5 divisions this weekend. If they are a PBA Junior member coming into the tournament, they will receive credit for a PBA Junior regional title. And that can help them along to winning some additional scholarship money throughout the 2023 season, with the Jim Welch Memorial Scholarship Fund for all 7 PBA Junior regions. And if you're looking to join PBA Junior, just go to PBA.com. You'll see the Join Now tab on the upper right part of the page. Click on that, scroll down to PBA Junior, and that'll get you all the information on how to join, whether you bowl with a basic membership or take advantage of some of the extra bonuses for higher membership tiers offered by PBA Junior. So there will be a fresh application of this tournament pattern for the 12:30 bowlers. 12:30 will have a few more players on the squad. So there will be a short break between squads. You will get fresh YouTube streams. So if you already are set to receive notifications when the Justin Bohn page or the PB3 Scholarship Tournament pages go live, you'll see when we get things underway here from Howell Lanes for the 12:30 p.m. squad. And you'll see some of the best and brightest out here on the eastern part of the country. I don't think we have any big travelers coming in this year from out west. I know last year we had a player coming in from Illinois. And we definitely have players up and down the eastern seaboard here. Players from Virginia, South Carolina, far north is Massachusetts. Far east is, well, Rhode Island. I don't think we had anybody from Maine. Well, actually, Massachusetts, if you count Cape Cod, I guess you're a little farther east than Rhode Island. But yeah, definitely some bowlers from Ohio, and we even had a player from Illinois last year. So when you're on a popular event with a popular player, one of the most popular of all time, on the nameplate of the tournament, it's going to draw some of the best and brightest from across the country. So thanks for joining us on this 9 a.m. squad, and join us back here at 12:30 Eastern Time for qualifying squad number 2 out of 5 total this weekend. Once again, your qualifying squads tomorrow, 9 a.m., 12:30 p.m., and 4 p.m. A little bit of room on the 12:30 and 4 p.m. squads tomorrow, not much. So if you're looking to get into the tournament, get a hold of somebody here at Howell Lanes. And they can get all the pertinent information to the tournament office and make sure your youth player is entered for their chance of all the scholarship money here at the PB3 this weekend. I'm $2 Phil Brylow. Hey, parents, take the kids bowling because you know they're going to have fun for life. And we'll see you back here at 12:30 for qualifying squad number 2.